Any of the past meetings for conservation properties?
We did, but now I think there's one issue that we should probably address tonight. So I started working on the Birch Street property, and as I mentioned to a couple members a couple minutes ago, ATVs and dirt bikes have already been going back there. I know that we have a standing rule against motorized vehicles going back there. So I discussed that with Officer Savage of the Litchfield Police Department, and he said that the Board of Selectmen would have to formally adopt a rule that says that there's no motorized vehicles on conservation areas. So I think at least we should try and work on that, and so that we can really put the signs up there and get some enforcement going, because I'm not even done and people are already going back there and they disobeyed a sign that I already put up. So
what's everybody feel? I think that we should go to the selectmen and get no more vehicles on conservation land. What's everybody else's opinion? We're not buying this for ATV activity.
I kind of hate to shut them out, and
But the problem is they don't stay out of the wetlands, and then they're rutting the wetlands up.
And if I can sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
When I did see that they went through the wetlands, they are putting some pretty deep ruts in the muddy spots adjacent to the wetlands, and they were tearing up the trails quite a bit. So I had to go back there and pack the soil down and kind of fix up what they had been digging into. So there is some work involved to repair the trails.
At the bare minimum, at least on that Birch Street property, because it's extremely wet, and it's extremely wet as soon as you get into the second parcel there.
That's what I was going to say. Can we limit to
Specific property sensitive?
Yeah.
I think that's the fairest way, just in case. There are some areas where people are riding through, and there is a lot of four-wheelers driving this town that do it properly. And I don't know.
Well, they have to have permission from the landowner. I don't ever see that happening either.
Well, you go split that here if you want with anybody that rides, and that's another story altogether. But you're right. But that doesn't matter, because that's not, nobody's ever been stopped because they didn't. Let's put it that way. That I've ever heard of. But I think, piece of property sensitive, yes, but not just a blank.
I think Morris Falls, because Morris Falls isn't very big, it can't really go anywhere, and this property.
What about Morris Falls? They do this, go through there from going different places, don't they? Don't they use the
No,
contract to
they
go
don't.
through? Don't they through the swamp area? I mean, the
Morris Falls, I'm talking about, not the State Falls.
No, the Morris Falls. They go down. Don't they go down through with some four wheels down through there from by?
They can't because of
The horse farm's on one end and
the Colby property's on the other with that huge ditch in it.
Don't they go right through that? Don't they?
no, they don't. It's full of stuff
No?
now. It's full of,
I haven't been there for years.
Concrete.
It's like a big gully.
Is it? Yeah.
full of concrete and asphalt and all kinds of stuff. And plus we got that sinkhole down there.
But I know the snowmobilers use it in the wintertime. You see the snowmobilers.
That's not yet.
How they get around the sinkhole?
Go right through it.
They go around the long way, because that's frozen in the wintertime.
But we have that big sinkhole on the trail.
But if you're walking towards the Colby property,
Yeah.
towards the left, they come in around through the left side there.
And probably with the new development going in up there too, it probably will be less use up there with the new
Yeah.
warehouse being built. Yeah, I think maybe take those two properties specific, but I think at this point, just specific. We go to the selectmen, because they do have to have they actually have to actually propose and write an ordinance and actually put it in as an ordinance so that it has some teeth.
We should get busy on that now. So, it could be a selectmen's ordinance. It wouldn't have to go to town meeting. It could be a
No, the
selectmen's.
selectmen, no, it's like stop signs. The selectmen have to approve stop signs, stuff like that. So any kind of motorized vehicle thing.
Did the sign ever get put up about no motor vehicles down by the river
I
access?
believe it did, and that's recreation's taking care of that. We're not. I believe
So we
it
gave that away. And it's a good place to drive your car right down to the river. It's a good
didn't
place.
say no vehicle.
That's right.
Duh.
Well, the other thing is apparently the gates aren't being closed at night either.
What's that?
That's a
surprise?
recreation issue.
That was a surprise. That's
We'll
nice.
call John Bryant.
We gave it away.
Okay, did overall in general, were any not major, but overall rules discussed for all the properties?
No, I don't think we really brought up like the other rules that we think that should be in place for the properties.
Maybe you and I could hash out some just to put first flush out to the board.
Okay.
If you send me the minutes in a different format, my computer doesn't recognize that format.
Well, I
so can't print
sent,
it.
I
I still
forwarded
can't do it. I
it.
tried. I can't do
It's
it.
a Word document,
I
so
don't
how
have
much,
that. I
what
don't
makes
have
it can get to the Word document?
Mine doesn't do that. Yeah, it just goes back to the head page that won't do the minutes.
Maybe, but I don't know what else to do. You're attached to an email, what could you do?
I'm sure like a Google Doc, maybe? You have Google?
That I can't open when you set the agenda to Google Doc.
No, I would imagine more people couldn't open the Google Doc, but a Microsoft, a Word document, pretty basic.
Mine just says it doesn't do it, so it doesn't do it and I'll do it. So then I reviewed the minutes, but there was no way to do it. Yeah.
There, Andy, we'll have to work on that. Okay, target shooting at Morris Falls, that was posted, right?
Yes.
And then, this is separate from that issue, but there was quite a few pictures from the, state property that were horrendous. After they posted it, the no shooting signs got shot up and garbage all over the place, and it's the state's problem, but that's what's giving these people a bad name.
And were you talking at the top of the hill?
No, I'm talking about at, off Cutler Road, behind the,
Yeah, that's part of the circumferential highway right away. Is that what that is?
there's two different state properties in
That
there.
has nothing to do
They,
with us
they
anyhow.
posted it all,
Mhm.
but, and I'm just saying that signs got shut up and they left shells all over the place and
Yeah.
garbage.
That's what your shooters are bad.
Has anybody been down to Morris Falls since,
Not lately, no.
have you been down lately?
I was on the upper end because I installed the birdhouses,
Yeah,
but I didn't go down. I put 10 birdhouses there, I put 7 at the, on the boat ramp,
yeah, so,
and then I put 2 down on Parker Park.
Most people thought they were bat houses. I've had four calls complimenting about the bat. Nice bat houses, thank you. So, nobody knows they're bird
Just
houses.
say you're welcome.
Yeah, that's what I said. They are, they're
That house
common.
really is.
that's good that they're up now, so then, because those guys start looking for nesting places February, so it's good.
I gotta tell you, a trick from home when I go out.
Thank you. So that takes care of breakfast.
Oh, also I have, the slip for the holes in the bolts and all
Okay,
that.
good. Oh, speaking of properties, we have some money. Don't you think we should talk to a surveyor about some bounds on that Birch Street property? I could at least get a quote.
At least get a quote. Yeah, I don't think I would commit to the money till I got a quote.
No, we can't commit to money until we know what we're talking about. All right, quote. Okay, Jefferson subdivision was approved last month at the planning board, 1 lot into 3. So the house, the existing house is 1 lot.
Mother and father's old house.
No, that's a separate lot already.
Oh, that was.
Then between that, there'll be another lot, about 4 acres, I think it was.
Mhm.
And then the back lot is 20 acres. Access will come off Albuquerque.
Oh, okay. Oh, access from off Albuquerque.
Yeah, it's because he took all the frontage for the house and the other lot took all his 3A frontage.
Okay.
So that's been
Not
approved.
too bad, because we have looked at that, it's gotta be nice from Albuquerque to 3A.
Well, but it
Well, we
touches,
already-
but it touches our other properties.
We already adjourned
We
that. We
still
already
could.
own the adjoining property.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when we looked at it, that's what we thought.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So that's approved, and I have not heard anything more about that. You got a rainfall report for
Anything.
I do,
what, July?
June and July,
June.
because I wasn't here either month.
Okay.
For the month of June, we had 8 inches even. In the month of July, we had 10.6 inches.
Wow.
And so far, I think we've got like 12 inches for this month.
They were drowning.
And we've got like,
Grass is really green.
Yeah,
I think we got 1.5 inches today. It was a little before.
We didn't get that much in Nashville, I don't think. Huh?
Yeah, it was very local
I
today.
gotta check my rain gauge tonight, but I didn't check it.
There was one day I got 4.5 inches in one day.
I got 3.5 one day, but yeah.
Next day I got 4 inches.
No wonder my grass is growing. Grass is going through the asphalt. Grass is going everywhere. So you got the numbers?
Yep.
Okay, let's see what else I had in the minutes for, Jefferson did get their ZBA, approval, and I believe Lilac Court did also. I know Jefferson did.
Mhm.
Mm. Oh, locks were brought up last year. Where do we need new locks?
Oh, they needed new locks for, what do you need locks? for?
The kiosk.
The kiosk.
The kiosk, yeah.
They need a universal, we should get universal lock, whatever it's gonna be. They all have the same, just,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever kiosk you got, just change them all to one by a set of
We got the
four.
one across from the old fire station
Yeah.
and one at West Falls. Do you want to check on that? Can you check a hardware store, see what
Yeah, I can.
universal locks?
I don't remember what size, it's not
It's-
enough box, it's not a big one.
It's a little one, yeah, up at the, it's on the,
It's on the kiosk and nothing.
kiosk, yeah, and the one at Parker Park doesn't have a lock. That needs
Is
new
there a hasp on
plexiglass.
it? I'll look, if there isn't a hasp on it.
That one needs new plexiglass. It's all marked up. I put some new posters in there. Okay, touring conservation areas. Discuss giving a tour of Parker Park to town residents, so the remnants of the trolley track. Oh, you discussed giving a tour, but did you
No,
give a
Matt
tour?
didn't, he actually gave it to him.
That wasn't related to conservation.
Yeah,
No, that was just me
just public
discussing
information.
the history of the brook up there.
Did any people show up?
Oh, 7?
Wow.
It was quite a few. There were 3 cars, 3 families I saw came. So it was nice.
And
Good
that was
turnout.
at Parker Park?
Yeah, and they were very enthusiastic to seeing other properties in town as well. And if it means educating them on,
He doesn't look like Harry to me.
if it means like educating them on the importance of conservation areas
Yeah,
in town,
yeah.
just have like a meet and greet maybe to the conservation commission it might be a useful experience.
It would be good to get people out on these properties. When did you do that?
Yeah, so
It was in mid-July, I think,
Officially,
the
yeah.
day.
Officially.
So should these minutes say you did, this was July 25th, had you already given that?
By that time, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
By the week prior,
Correct,
yeah.
that you had given, okay. Okay, anybody get anything else?
I just got one little quick thing.
Sure.
So I remember, me and Matt were discussing it a little bit, but is there like some sort of state rule that says if there are some sort of state study that if there's more than like 12 turkey populations in a certain area that need to be some sort of like recorded of some sort? I didn't know.
The state Fish and Game is asking people to record or send in their turkey sightings. I don't know what they do with the information.
They usually ask twice a year, right?
Yeah.
I think it's winter time in the month of August, I think. they do.
Yeah.
Last week, when I was taking my walk in the morning, there were 35 turkeys in the middle of the road.
Well,
12 houses up from my house. There were 3 hens, and then they had all their little chicks.
all the brood.
Yeah.
And when they see me coming, they all flew into the trees. I said, wow.
yeah. it's funny.
Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, you scared them all.
Why do you ask?
It was just because I saw like a lot of pictures and seen a lot of turkeys and kind of remember. I just remember a conversation.
Yeah, I don't know which website they have,
I think you can go on the fishing
Fishing
game,
Game, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
and it explains the difference between what the adult females and males look like, what the little drakes look like, from the different ages on up. So it's supposed to be easier to determine what they are.
And then it asks for things like, were they feeding? Did you see them on farmland?
Oh.
That sort of thing.
Good enough.
Then there's a question down here about Morris Falls parking lot. I had
Ricky
called
fixed it, yeah.
you about that, right? We had
No.
talked, I didn't, well,
No.
I told her to go ahead and do it.
Did a nice job.
It looks
And
beautiful.
we had to get a state permit, even though we had that big wide opening, the state wanted it narrowed down. That's
Oh,
why.
that's what it is.
That's
why
what the
it's
rock
like
for
that,
there.
yeah.
Nice.
But now it's nice and smooth, it's not rutted anymore.
Yeah, they did a nice job.
Not-
Well, that was part of the original deal with the contractor, that they were gonna rebuild the parking lot, and then Jack and I had worked that out
Yeah,
last year when they were doing their work. So obviously they just commissioned it up to Ricky, which has usually did a nice job.
yeah, it's that same material that once it gets hot and settled in, it's almost like
Packs, yeah,
pavement.
packs, yeah.
When I was installing the birdhouse there, I must have been there an hour and a half. I bet there was a good, maybe 5, 7 people that came in and walked down towards the river. So it was nice to see that property is being utilized.
Yeah. I think a lot of people come down from Manchester,
Yeah.
which is fine. Okay.
Where was the other place you put it for it was Parker Park and Moore's Walk?
And the river access.
The boat ramp.
Jason Brennan from the River Access Subcommittee contacted me and he said that the birdhouses might need to be moved a little bit because they have something going up there. I'll have to ask him again, but he requested that the birdhouses be moved
Which
When
way?
I suggested you move them.
back away from the driveway there.
Well, see, I put them behind the rocks.
Yeah, we had nothing else going in
We
behind
live
the rocks.
Yeah, and I put them a little further away because I was afraid maybe somebody might move them or whatever. And then I didn't want to put them like in the middle of that grassy area because whoever's mowing.
Cutting the
down
grass
there-
gonna really love you, yeah.
I'll email Jason and see what the,
Which problem is-
We can move them if they want to move them, but I don't see why.
now did you, when you put them up, did you check and see how far they should be apart?
No, I just went. "Okay."
Okay,
I didn't realize it was
we might think about, although they like to perch near this, we might think about putting just a pole in every so often. But I'll email
Just talk to the
him.
birds, see what they say.
Okay.
Yeah. You sit down there on a rock and they'll land on your shoulder and you can talk to them.
I have a large
That's great,
population of swallows in my yard this year. I know they
I
have.
just had a bunch on my sidewalk tonight. I don't know where they all came from. There's like 15 of them sitting there and I just when I came down here.
Getting ready to move.
They're all going south for winter.
Hello. Okay, anything else?
I don't know if you want me to touch on what I've done so far.
Yes,
with Birch
yes,
Street.
yes, please.
All right, so starting August 2nd, I
This is the
started.
Birch Street property.
Yep, I started working on some trails on Birch Street. A lot of them were existing ATV trails, but there was a lot of vegetation growing in because they haven't been used in a couple of years. So most of the work consisted of cleaning the trails up. I started work on 4 trails here that I gave a couple names. I don't know if you want to take a look at it, see what I've done so far with the trails. It was pretty tough. Most of the work I did with hand tools. We had the I can't remember what it's called, a brush chainsaw. It's like a weed whacker with a chainsaw on the end. That worked for about
Did
3
you,
minutes.
oh, the one out of here?
Yeah,
So what's the matter with the DR mower?
none of that stuff works. I don't know what's
No,
what's
the
wrong
DR,
with
the
it.
DR Jack was supposed to take the DR mower and tune it up.
Well, it probably needs a new battery because it hasn't been running years.
Did it start?
It does. What's that?
Did the DI mower start?
No.
No. Yeah,
So the
battery.
battery's dead.
Battery's dead.
I have put, that's the second battery that I put in.
That's not a bad average when you think how long
Yeah,
we've had
I mean,
it.
it's quite old, but like the chainsaw and the brush hog, probably the gas has gone bad.
Yeah.
The power's has gone
Yeah,
bad. We
Might have to get
should
those.
take money in the budget and just send them all out.
Yeah,
Have them
Why don't
upgraded.
you say just send them out and have it? Just,
Send them out
and
because
we're worried about the budget, just charge it, you know.
the gas has additives and that just clogs everything up.
Mhm.
What I normally do when I'm not gonna use my chainsaw for any length of time is I empty the gas tanks out completely and then just run them dry.
Right,
Yeah, with the.
Mhm.
Yeah,
with the-
yeah.
Then they also have the stuff you can buy that's pre-mixed and stuff that has no ethanol in it.
Yeah, that's.
That's what I'm using on my small stuff now. It's like, what, $20 a gallon, but I mean, you
Or
only
you go
use
to the
it for a while.
Hampton Airport and get gas, additives in that either.
But that
Oh, yeah.
mower is the way to go, it's either you're cutting trails,
Yeah.
that thing there will
It'll
take
go
a
through
tree
anything
up.
almost,
And,
yeah.
Trust me, I've knocked down a number.
That chainsaw came in handy when for the short amount of time it worked. I could just kind of go up and down. It was mostly like branches that were getting in the way, and that kind of cleared it up pretty quickly. But the rest of the work I was using hand tools for. I put up a little fence at the entrance just to keep ATVs out because they were clearly curious. I think they were butters that were curious, so they went in there with the ATVs. And this trail right here that kind of goes east,
Mhm.
that one, I kind of got stopped by the pond here, so I'd have to kind of go around it. And the vegetation there is pretty dense, so I'd have to go in there with power equipment to actually finish that off.
Well, we don't want to clear too much around here so they can get into this wetland.
Mhm. Yeah, but I kind of did the double lines there to like show you the range of where the trail could be. 'Cause I stopped right there,
Okay.
but it can go further.
Okay,
And that this trail would blueberry trail is what I've called it because of all the blueberry bushes out there. That would kind of gain access to the rest of the property to the north.
Don't we have Blueberry Street in town too?
No.
No, Blueberry Lane, Blueberry
No.
something.
No blueberry.
There was a lot of blueberry bushes out there, so I thought it
The
was
whole
a
town was
pretty
blueberries at one time.
a good name for it.
Where's a good place to take the power tools? Stills?
The DR Mall, the only authorized dealer is the guy in Milford. Milford House of Power, I think it's called or something.
Weren't you going to somebody in East Derry with the smaller stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the chainsaw came from, I think.
Eddie's Saw Shop up in East Derry. I can bring them up if you want me to.
Yeah,
If you do that, Roger, I think we'd all
that'd
appreciate
be
it.
great.
Well, I had emailed them, told them to bring them over to my house, and I was gonna take a look at them. Probably, spray the carburetors down with carburetor cleaner or something, rather than see if that's all.
Up to you, you never know.
Yeah, you want to take the chainsaw and that.
I would just I'd lose the word Underwood just because, just in
Yeah,
case somebody had fallen out
yeah.
there and they called in the word Underwood. We have an Underwood Drive in town. I
Right.
could see the fire and police rushing to Underwood.
Good point.
And it's Underwood in the woods and not Underwood in town.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the
change that.
So I had two other names. So the one at the entrance I called Transient Trail because it was a really quick little trail that kind of got you in there. It was like, it's not very long. And then the trail to the north I called Callanan Trail after Katie Callanan, who's the youngest Boston Marathon runner. And she's a resident of Litchfield. So she's a recent historical figure. So I thought it would be nice to name a trail after.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Nice work.
Thank you.
Is the chainsaw and the limber in the shed now?
Yep.
I guess I'll keep that.
I found the key in my desk. Found the key. After we had
Okay,
keys.
we also
we
want to take a
found
look at the map.
So will Jack take the animal or?
He told me he was taking it, so I'll have to ask him tomorrow.
Apparently nobody's.
Nobody's taking it, yeah.
He was gonna take it down to the shop and work on it.
I think of it himself, yeah.
I'll ask him.
He's been pretty busy the last week.
Well, he was away last
Yeah,
week.
he's on vacation and everything's been crazy before and
It's
after.
on today.
This is the select board of selectmen. I'm never gonna be able to figure this out. Okay. Anybody else have anything?
I think we ought to give the recreation committee 2 thumbs up for the boat ramp. They did a really nice job.
No, it wasn't them, it was Jason Brennan and the volunteers.
The volunteers, yeah.
He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
He went and got material, he was there every weekend.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I
Except for the road being put in by Continental, they did everything else.
Yeah, Continental did a nice job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They did, what were you gonna say?
I say I worked on the boat launch with them for a couple weekends, and the other volunteers just did a phenomenal job because they were out there for several weekends. I was beat by 2 weekends. I was exhausted, but they just kept doing it, and they just did a spectacular job. They put a lot of effort into it.
I personally think it's quite an asset.
Yes, I do too. Okay, if there is nothing else, I make a motion that we go into non-public, 91A, I don't have the exact number.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Okay,
We have another.
Yeah, that's why we're going to non-public.
and we had to do a roll call vote.
Roger,
Well, wait, who's this gonna second the motion?
I'll second it.
Okay,
Many seconds, as I used to say in the town meeting days.
Birds and fools.
a roll call vote, Roger,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Joan, yes,
Tom, yes.
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 Jack, okay. So at this time, we will be going off air and asking the public to leave. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Get on the commission. Leave.